So a whopping 50 miles I have on the Corvette. I haven't even burned a quarter of a tank of gas. So as soon as I picked it up, we went out on a date night that night. Me and my wife just kind of drove around. It was late by the time we got a babysitter, you know how that goes. So I had about an hour to drive, and then it was late and we had stuff going on the next day. And then the next time I decided to go for a drive, it was the worst monsoon ever. And trying not to be the cliche Corvette guy, I said, you know what? I got the Corvette, I'm gonna drive it. I drove, but the rain was so bad, it was like I could barely see. All right, so as I sit here, you can kind of see now we're in the natural light. The flat carbon that I talked about, how it matches the flat carbon on the dash here. I really like that. That looks really clean to me. And of course it matches the carbon on the seats. And not to forget the red seat belts. Look at this. I love this. This is like one of the smallest details, but it makes the biggest difference. I really enjoy it. So the shop we are going to, I got to pick up a part for the Integra. It's right over there. It's called Gearhead Performance. You guys know where that is. So I'm going to pick up a piece and head back to the shop so I can keep working on the Integra. If you haven't seen it, check out the playlist, Project Integra. If you're a car guy, you're going to enjoy Integras just as much as Corvettes, just as much as GTRs, just as much as anything else, if you're a car guy. Okay, so I talked about these race ramps before. They make life so much easier, and of course, the car isn't lowered, but I still have plenty of room, even when the car's low, to get on those ramps. So this spoiler, let's see, it's held on mainly these little bolts all the way around and a couple of rivets. I'll take these off and count them, and I'll show you exactly how many have to be removed and what is involved in taking it off. These are all bolts through here, and then these over here where the slots are rivets, and they're the wide head style rivet. I'll show you the head as I drilled it out here. It's almost about a size of a dime, a little bit smaller. All right, you can see the difference there. You can see the shaping. This is obviously the shape of the bumper here, and it only comes out, you know, maybe a quarter of an inch. And there's the shape, and you see how much it comes out. This is the stage 2. Now you can get the stage 3. Basically, difference is these two pieces here would unbolt, and this piece comes much further up the bumper. It looks kind of cool, but I'm not really loving it. I think this one is a little bit more subtle, and it gives the car a little bit more of an aggressive look. It definitely finishes off the front. So I'll show you the rivets real quick, and we'll put it on. I'll get a shot to show you what it looks like. But as you see with no lip, these things are pretty boring in the front. They really are. That lip is what makes it. So the rivet, this is what it looks like. It's got the same size head. It's silver. Now I could be really OCD and get each one of these and put them in some cardboard and paint them so they'll look like the factory ones. Okay, so once you got it sitting in position, I just put all the bolts in loose. You're going to put your rivets in there, and as you see, I didn't bother painting them. I just left them just exactly the way they came so that they stand out. But these are going to go in the holes in front of your bolts. Right there is one, and then there is one each side of it, another one at that side, 3 on each side. All right, so there it is, simple install. The bolts have a 7mm head, and there is 6 rivets with the wide flange, and that's it. So if you get yourself some race ramps or a jack it up. Right now we're up about 10 inches. It gives you all the room you need, and it's pretty easy. The whole thing took me about 20 minutes. Okay, so that's about as low as you can go on these ramps. Now you can put a little piece up here just to give yourself a little bit of a like a head start so it doesn't scrape on here. But you see how much better that looks. That is a world of difference. It's such an easy modification. So now we have the lip on there. It looks so much better. It's time to lower the car. So I want to get a measurement right now from the top of the fender to the floor so we have an idea how much it's going to drop. We're going to adjust it on the factory bolts where we are factory. So yours should be close to this, but 27 3/8 in the front, so we can go from there. So one of the things you're going to need to jack the car up are these pucks right here. Pretty simple, but it's going to give you something to jack onto. There is a couple of holes on the car. It's like the factory holes where they use it to probably hold the frame. But this is going to go in there and turn, and then you can use this to jack up on and safely get the car up in the air so you can remove the wheel. Okay, so the trick here is take all the lug bolts out except one, and then so you don't drop the wheel on the caliper and scratch it removing it, what I do here is I put my foot under the wheel and support the weight as I take it off so I don't drop the wheel. So when you can lower the car using just a 10mm wrench, it's hard to resist. So it's super easy. If I can get enough light in here, can you see that? Let me get some light real quick. Hey Siri, turn on the flashlight.
It's on.
There we go. So you see that right there. It has a 10mm head. That is the adjusting bolt. You can change these and get lowering bolts, but if you use the factory bolt, you can usually drop the car about 3/4 of an inch. So we'll measure it again afterwards, but again, how can you not change that?
It's off.
And then I will contact one of my alignment guys and see if we can adjust the car, and we'll find out how far it moved it, but let's lower it first. All right, so before you go, yuck, this is just an experiment. These were the wheels that I got from my ZR1, the C6 ZR1, and I have the Pilot Sport Cup tires on. These are my track wheels. Well, this is a really pretty color when the ZR1 has the blue accents, which means the calipers are blue. Against the red, it does look patriotic, but it is a little bit yucky. Well, I did this so I could confirm there is plenty of room. This doesn't have the Z07 brake package. I didn't want that because the carbon ceramic rotors are extremely expensive. And anybody that tracks their cars, usually the first thing to do is put the iron rotors on. They do have the aluminum hats. You're not really saving that much weight, but these are 10 times cheaper to replace than the carbon ceramics. That's why I didn't want the carbon ceramic brakes. But I can confirm, I can put all my fingers between there. So I am going to powder coat these a different color. I'm going to get a hold of AB, change the color of these so I can use them as track wheels on this 2019 Z06. But I did want to confirm they do fit, because I searched around, I couldn't get any information on this. Nobody seemed to know. So I just wanted to go out there and say, yes, it does fit. So it's going to have to be driven until it levels itself out, but just initially right there, it's gone down a little over ½ an inch. So I'm going to do the other side, take it for a quick drive, let it all balance out and adjust itself, and then we'll measure it again. It should be, from what I'm reading, almost an inch, but it's starting to look better already, just with that little bit of drop. All right, so we are back on the ground. The wheels are torqued. I do not use an impact to tighten the wheels. I always use a torque wrench. That way there's less chance of warping your rotors or damaging one of the threads. So let's just take it for a short drive, bring it back, and we'll measure it. So even though they're not considered modifications, we have 63 miles on the car, and I just did the 10mm wrench lowering mod and the front lip, so we're not wasting any time. So We'll take it for a quick spin around the block, put it back on the pad, measure it, and we'll see how it looks. Okay, so let's get a measurement. Sorry for the audio quality, by the way. I've been using a GoPro 7 and it doesn't have the same quality as my regular. So right now we're down to 26.5 in the front. That's from 27 3/8. That's almost a full inch. And we are at 27.5 in the back. All right, so now I've got it out in the light with my better camera. You can see that lip. Again, sorry for the earlier video quality. I'm not a big fan of the GoPro 7 inside. When you're outside, it does pretty good, but it's not the best. It doesn't have the best audio. All right, so now I've got a better shot of it. You can see how much better it looks lowered. Again, that is, I just measured it again, now it's settled. It's exactly an inch front and back. So that is exactly what I'm looking for. And again, it takes you about an hour, hour and a half with a 10mm wrench in your garage. It's like the best modification that is so easy, and of course, it's just your time. One thing I gotta remember, let me just make the air go away so it doesn't disrupt the audio. In settings somewhere, again, I can't remember where, but you can change the car so it will, there we go, it'll lock itself when I walk away, and I keep forgetting how to do that. This sucks. This is the same thing as the C6. All they did was change this to the C7 logo, which it has the Corvette wings are a little bit more of an angle. The C6 was flat, but it's the same thing. It's almost like GM made a million of these and said, you know what, I've got to keep using them. I mean, back then it was kind of cool, but now it's like, guys, you've had this forever. Change it. Give us something, even paint the thing. Paint it to match the car. It'll make us feel. Anyway, but you keep it in your pocket. So who cares? You don't look at it. You just press the start stop whenever you want to drive the car. You walk up to it, it automatically unlocks. So back to this auto door unlock.
One of the top in the country, and there's nobody in the country that knows these cars better than I do.
All right, we'll talk to this guy.
This episode of Ask the Chevy Dude.
I'm going to ask the Chevy Dude. I'll find out and I'll let you know.
Facebook and Twitter, is remote lock. So once we come down here, we see passive door lock.
Passive door unlock. So we just want it to unlock the driver's door when I come back. Remote lock feature. I don't want the Wi-Fi. Why do I need Wi-Fi? My phone company gives me free unlimited gajillion gigabytes of Wi-Fi, now the car gives me in. Passive door lock. On with horn. Sure, of course we want to beep. We want to know it worked. Remote door unlock. Driver's door, yep. Remote unlock light feedback. Flashlights, yep. Let's see if that works. Ready? Sorry, this is a real-time boring video, but for somebody like me that doesn't read the manual, we only read the manual when it doesn't work. So I'm gonna step back here, get out the range of the car. Oh, look at that. There's the key. So it beeped, is here. The car should be locked. Yep, it's locked. Oh, look at that. The red light. Yep. Awesome. So that's how you do that. Put that in my pocket and open the door. Ah, look at that. Ah, perfect. So hopefully you're enjoying it so far. I know it's just little stuff. The next thing that's planned for the car on Monday, it's going over to Presidential Detail. My buddy over there, Billy, he is going to do the full works on it. He's going to do the ceramic coat, the polish, the ceramic coat, and the clear film on the front, the bumper, just to protect from rock chips. And he also offers window tinting. So I think while it's there, I'm going to do what my customers do and say, while you have it, do everything that you do. That's one less step for me to do, one less drive. We'll take it to Billy and let Billy handle the whole thing. I'll try and get a little bit of filming of that. I'm not going to stick around and get in his way and film the whole thing, but I'll definitely show you before and after, and if it'll let me, I'll walk around his shop and film, because he has some awesome cars. He works on just some of the most amazing cars you've ever seen, and he works on them day in and day out, makes those things really come to life. He takes a really good paint job and makes it out of this world, so I'll show you that. So hopefully you're enjoying it thus far. Good afternoon and welcome to the channel. Hope you guys are having a great day. And you probably know that I watch street speed videos by the introduction. So right now I am taking the Corvette to presidential detail. Billy is a good friend of mine, and I've talked to him about doing the full paint correction and ceramic coat and the clear bra on the front. This is how you know you're here, when there is a whole bunch of really nice cars. That's when you know you're in the right place. Aston Martin. Look at that Camaro. Look at the blue on that. Wow, that is nice. I want to walk around and film all this stuff here in a minute. I've drove it, still got the gas in it that came with it. This is a really pretty blue. It's the closest blue we could find to the calipers, and these were brand new wheels. I had AB powder coat do these, and the finish on these things are terrific. I wanted to show you these because we're about to strip them and change the color, but for powder coat, this stuff is close to paint quality. These guys do such a good job. I don't know if it's showing up on camera how cool the blue is, but of course it looks terrible on the Z06. I have white with red accents and of course the black on it. That's no good, we've got to change it. Take me to AB powder coating.
Getting directions to AB powder coating.
Here we are, AB. Let me go ahead and talk to Austin, show him what I got. He can show me some options and we can go from there. Okay, so leaving AB, we just talked about a bunch of colors. I'm not gonna make this a big long tease, but I'm gonna wait until it's done to show you the color, see if you like it. So I still have the wheels in the back right now. We're gonna go take them over to Dave. His shop is Love's right over here. This is 54th Avenue. He is gonna remove the tires from the wheels, and then Austin is gonna go pick them up from his shop. It's almost a one-stop shopping trip here, except I'm doing 2 trips. But it says Austin having to drive over there, come back. He's busy too. So try and make his life a little bit simpler here. So we're gonna go see Dave, drop him off, and then I'll go back to the shop. So this is 54th Avenue, Kenneth City. A long time ago, I used to work at a dealership down here. Long time ago, before I opened LHT Performance, but I used to do all kinds of stuff for them. I started off as just doing like lot stuff, getting cars ready, sending them off to get cleaned. This one needs tires, that one needs paint work, this one needs engine work. And after a while I ended up going to the auction and buying cars, because he said, you know what sells, you go buy them. I would go to the auction, buy the cars. It's actually a pretty good job. I would go buy the car that I thought we could sell, find the good looking car, and I know what would, you know, fit the market. And in the end, he had me selling cars too, before I had a much stronger English accent. And for some reason, people will buy a car of an English guy for some reason. I don't know why. So this is it right here. That's his name right there. Loves rims. He has some rims out front, lets you know what he has going on. He is back here. He does all kinds of cool stuff. He does lowering as well as lift kits, wheels, tires. Dave's pretty much the man. He'll do anything for you. I've known Dave 20 years. Maybe I'll tell a story later on of how we met, but let me see if I can find him. He's rolling around here somewhere. All right, so I dropped the wheels off with Dave. He is gonna remove the tires and TPMS sensors. AB is gonna go pick up the wheels and strip them and powder coat them. So once he is done with that, he's gonna take them back to Dave. Dave's gonna put the tires back on, and I should be able to pick them up. Then I can show you the color. These again are my track wheels, but I want them to look decent. I don't want them to look awful. You know, the blue was a little bit too loud. I mean, it kind of looked cool. 50% of me liked it because it was kind of cool, but it also looked a little bit toyish. I mean, I'm not 20 years old anymore, even though I sometimes act it. So the wheels are going to be a little bit more subtle, but they should complement the car too. And they're not going to be black, because every car I own has black wheels. So I'm trying to break the mold a little bit on that. So hopefully you like it. Right now it is lunchtime. I'm swinging by Wawa right now to go get a couple of sandwiches for George and I will be back at the shop. I try and put myself in the customer's position all the time, and now I'm in the customer's position. I dropped my Corvette off 4 hours ago, and I'm resisting the temptation to call and go, hey, how's everything going? You know what I'm talking about. I joke about it because my customers will do it and they'll say, listen, I'm sorry, I don't mean to bother you. How's things going? And you think to yourself, we're working on it. You know, what else can I do? You don't want to be watching every step of the way, but I get it. So it's kind of good for me to be in that position, because it helps me relate to my customers, and that's what it's about in business. You need to relate to your customer, and you need to know how the customer feels. So it's kind of important to do that, and when you drop your car off at somebody else's shop, it kind of teaches you to just, you know, act a little bit different. So as soon as I get off this camera, I'm gonna call Billy and say, hey, how's it going? I'm just kidding. Okay, so that's the end of this episode. The next episode, I'm gonna show you the car. I'm gonna pick it up from Billy. He's gonna call me in the next couple of days. He said he's close, he's almost done with it. So I'll pick that up, I'll show you around the car, I'll show you around Billy's shop again. He's probably got a whole new host of vehicles in there by now. And I'll get the wheels from AB Powder Coat with the tires installed by Dave, and I'll show you what they look like, see what you think about the new color scheme. I'm also gonna show you what's in these 3 boxes. I'll show you that on the next episode. I think you're gonna like it. If you like Corvette stuff, if you like car stuff, I think you'll enjoy it. So stay tuned. We'll see you on the next episode.